Heading into the third block, the poll results are in for the first 4 weeks or first 2 blocks of the season. So let's take a look at what we've got. Jiggy, looking very impressive so far, sitting at number one in both. LSU sliding back, I'm assuming because of lack of games played. So dropping to number two. Bama 3, Oregon 4, and for the most part, at least through the first 7, got all the same familiar names. 8 and 9 flip flop in the coaches poll. You've got Duke at 10, media poll Clemson at 10, 11, and coaches Duke at 12, Iowa State. So a combination of 3 teams mixed in there. You got OU and Penn State flip flop at 13 and 14. Notre Dame sitting around 15. USC kind of the same, and Washington State. Those 3 teams lumped in between 15 and 17, just different order in both polls. NC State at 18 on both. Got Illinois, Texas Tech, and Miami between 19 and 21, just different order again. Arkansas, Washington, 22 and 23. Then you've got Vandy at 24 in both. Or sorry, 24 in the media, 25 in the coaches. Mizzou at 24 in the coaches, and then Georgia rounding out the media poll at 25. Just missing in the coaches side, they're 26. Boise falling out, dropping to 27. You got Cincinnati almost cracking the media poll, Mizzou as well. Louisville and Nebraska. And then on the other side, you've got Wake Forest, their offense leading the way. Just looking at the G5 schools, because you just have Washington State in both polls. On the media side, you got Memphis, Boise, Coastal Carolina. Those would be the next guys in. Middle Tennessee and others receiving votes down at the bottom. And then on the coaches side, you've got a mixture of stuff. Central Michigan, higher up in the coaches' favor than the media. Coastal Carolina, Boise, those would be your first 2 teams to add from the G5. Then you've got some others, Tulsa, Akron. Of course, you're going to have more on the coaches' side. More coaches, more variety. Mizzou State at 67, Air Force. Good start for them. They're at 42. And then others that receive votes. You see on the coaches poll, Florida State down there at 11. Not sure why anyone voted for us, but 11 points nonetheless. Looking at the breakdown. Hey, second best this week. I'll take that. So what do I have that's different? Since we're up here, we'll just look. Texas, I had LSU. I dropped them to 4 for lack of games, but OU ahead of Bama. 5, 6, 7, correct. I have Clemson still ahead of Baylor and Florida. OU, Notre Dame, Iowa State at 13, Penn State, USC, and then just going down. Georgia I had at 21, Cincinnati at 23, Louisville at 24. You know, as a Kentucky fan, I hate to do it, but respect it. Then 25 is Vandy. And you can see as it stands right now, for the moment, still no G5 schools. If you didn't start out there high for me, it's just with the power schools. I kind of look at it, what is the equivalent of, if a G5 team is, say, 3-0, what is the equivalent of that of a power school? Because you're already starting from higher up. So 3-0 compared to 2-1 is probably not going to be equal. For example, if Arkansas is 2-1 and I don't know, random school, can't think of anything. Arkansas State is 3-0. That 3-0 is not better than 2-1. Record wise, it is, but I don't go off of record. It's a mixture of a lot of stuff. But as a G5 school, you're not playing against G4 teams. You're not playing against better teams in terms of talent, not coaches, just talent. It's going to take a little more for me to move you up there. Media poll, I'm number 1 this time. That feels good. 42 points off. You can see I have most of the teams up there. I think for the top 25, I don't have Washington State honestly, that might be the only one. I don't have Washington State, and I have Cincinnati in. No, I don't have Washington either, so that means I'm missing someone else. Yeah, don't really know who that is. I'm looking through the top 25. I didn't miss anyone like super obvious. I don't have either of the Washington. So who else do I have? Cincinnati, I know is one. Anything else? Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I am just going crazy. I don't know. I feel like there's another school and I'm just not seeing it off the top of my head. Georgia's in there. Vandy's in there. Ah, Louisville. There we go. 23 and 24. So that's my top 25.